Welcome. So we made it to Chichen Itza. It's 9/9 and we're here. Check that out. So it's quite packed, but it's not as hot. So just want to have you guys tune in, feel the energy, and I have the bag of Moldavites in here. So they're activating. Everyone, welcome back. Today is December 20th, 2022. We have one more day until the winter solstice tomorrow. So this is the third day in a row that I made videos. I know you may be wondering like what the heck is going on with this winter solstice. Every year, the deeper I get into this spirituality work, the more I realize how significant this winter solstice day is. So it's once a year. You're gonna keep hearing it from me until after the solstice tomorrow. Then I'm gonna take a break. So what is this energy and what the heck is happening? I believe this day is a rebirth. So throughout the whole year, we are purging, releasing. You know, I was thinking today, this purging phase, right? Yesterday's episode, I was talking about suicide and death, and the end was just death itself. And either we have a spiritual death or a physical death. Physical death is we die, we check out, okay? Regardless of how we check out, we're checking out physically. But when we're doing this spiritual death, it is releasing the energy of the old. Okay, so bear with me on this, okay? So if everything is energy, then when we work for money, right? We work in exchange for money. We use that money and we buy material items, or we buy vacations, we buy experiences with the people we love. So that energy, we exchange it for things in our reality. So, you know, as you go through your awakening journey, you're gonna realize there's like this release stage. If you're conscious, you're aware of what's happening. It's this releasing of the old energy, right? Especially material items is the easiest way to go. Shedding old material items. That's why when the monks go into the monastery, they let go of all the material desires. So that's why I believe if they keep meditating and they keep ascending, they have no attachment to whatever level they're at. So I'm gonna explain it in like a game format. And so that's just what I'm realizing. Like as we get closer to Christmas, what if buying gifts for people is a way of us purging our old energy, our old money, right? Just notice as we approach this winter time, right, there's been a ton of purging, releasing. Even with like, again, releasing could be with a person, a home, moving to a different energy, right? Because we invested a lot of our time and energy into a home, a car. Those are manifest into material items, or invest our time and energy into a person. And then when we raise in vibration, if they're no longer keeping up, then it's going to be a dissonance, right? They're going to vibrate out. So it is a form of purging. Even with our job, our work, we may enter at one state of consciousness, one state of frequency, and then as we grow, that job may just feel uneasy. It doesn't feel right anymore. And when it's time for it to vibrate out, things will end up happening. Regardless of what happens, I think that's the thing that people get caught up on. This attachment to why it happened to me. But then if you look at it on a more expanded level, if it's going to leave your vibration, your energy field, it's going to happen regardless of how it happens. But yet we are so stuck on, they did this to me, or I don't deserve it. If you get fired, it's not even bad. Because if you didn't get fired, then you would have still been attached to this company, this job. Does that make sense? Right? Or if you left a job, it's not like you did something wrong or they did something wrong. It's just the frequency didn't match and it was time to disperse. It's time to release. So let that sink in. Let that sit in with you for a while. Even if in a relationship, this is what I caught about when looking back at the time when a lot of my friends left, because I got this panic attack. I felt like I got, I started being attuned to energies, and then we went to Galveston, which is the entire city was wiped out by a flood. So there was a lot of entities there. I had a panic attack and it freaked out my friends. And after that, it just got, the more spiritual I got, the more they distanced themselves. Okay, it was like too much. But I noticed now looking back, when that happened, I couldn't make sense of it. Okay, but now looking back, wow, my energy with that old group of friends was very different. We were growing apart energetically. So take a look at the people in your world, even relationships. When you start doing the inner work and growing from within, and all of a sudden this random fight broke out of nowhere, or something happened and it caused you guys to fight. If you're looking at it from where you are, what you can see now, and it's like, oh, we fight. Like he did this to me, she did this to me. It's not fair. But if you look on a grander scale of this, it's maybe our resonance. We're growing apart energetically, and when it's time for us to split, things are going to come in between to make it happen. Okay? But when we're in it, there's a lot of attachment to it. Like, why don't this person love me? Why did they do this to me? If they cheat on you, whatever it is, regardless of how it happened, when it's time for you guys to, when the energy becomes very dissonant, and if they're not doing the inner work, keeping up with your frequency, chances are it's very likely it's going to split. Okay? It's not right or wrong. If you view life in the form of energy, frequency, and vibration, like Nikola Tesla says, that's basically what's happening. So now as we're doing this healing work, going back, we are actually cutting cords, going back to that old version of us, healing that version of us, right? Coming back in and saying, like, that's okay. This is what's happening. The energy is growing apart. We're in dissonance. They're vibrating out. And you notice, here's the thing. When you fully let go of that person, it opens up space for the new version of the next level of you to enter and the next partner to enter. Just think of it as we are this computer system, or you're in the game, right? You're this character, but in this character, we can only hold so much energy, like so much gems, so much tools. When it's time to unload, if there's a partner, if there's a material items that's really holding our energy down energetically, when it's time for an upgrade, something's got to give, something's got to go. And when you fully let go and detach, the new will enter. Okay, so throughout the whole year, it's we're leveling up. If the person keeps up with you and level ups with you, possibly they'll enter the next level with you, which is the winter solstice, the rebirth phase. But if they don't keep up, when the winter solstice comes around, you can still hang on, but you're gonna notice there's a dissonance. It doesn't feel right anymore. It just doesn't, that person is no longer the person that you used to know, right? Because when you met this person, both of you were in the same frequency. It's vibration. But as you do the inner work, your vibration is rising, you're unloading the old energies of you, you're recalibrating, right, to the new frequency. We're an average of all the energy we accumulated. So the more that we unload, the higher the frequency we're gonna get. And we're gonna get to a point where it's like, it's no longer in resonance. And so that is, when we go back, we cut the cords, we release them. We can fully release them. Then we're going to notice the next phase, a new soul will enter, new material items will enter, new energies that will match your frequency. Make sense? So this winter solstice is the best way I can explain it. Even Christmas time, we're releasing old energy, right? We're buying gifts and giving it to other people. That's a form of releasing old energy. Even if you're buying healing sessions or taking a course online or reinvesting that energy back into yourself, right? I'll give you an example. When you do a healing session with someone who's either they've targeted or they managed to work on a niche of healing, you exchange your energy for their energy in return. So if they're in a higher frequency in that energy, you're exchanging your old energy. They'll transmute it, recalibrate to their energy, but whatever's given back to you is their energy at a higher frequency. Does that make sense? So that is what it means by reinvesting in yourself, reinvesting in things that are higher frequency or things that you want to take a deep dive in, you want to learn, and exchange that energy, especially when you're doing the healing, healing arena. I feel like this is where it's heading. A lot of us who go through a spiritual awakening, I never thought I was going to do Reiki. Never thought I was going to be this spiritual. Never thought I was going to work with rocks. But Lord behold, I feel like my destiny is already planned. My destiny's up here. However I managed to get there, whatever path I managed to take, is still there. My soul has already chosen my path. So the more that we learn to surrender, learn how to tap into our intuition, our higher self. Higher self's gonna be this next level of you. It's telling you, it's like, hey, Demi, turn here, turn here, turn here. You may not be able to make sense on what's happening in the physical world, but we trust the guidance. And once you have this rebirth and merge with the new higher self, then there's a new higher self for the next level, telling you, it's like, hey, turn here, follow this path, listen to this person, buy this car, buy this home, move here. It's gonna keep leveling up. So tomorrow, okay, I don't know why I'm so excited for this video. Yesterday's energy was very heavy when we're talking about death, okay? So earlier this year, if you follow the channel, I mentioned to you that, I got my shaman was sharing with me about, hey, Tammy, you need to make a trip to Mexico, or, try to make a trip to Mexico. There's something there for you to find. And at that point, I was like, how am I gonna afford this trip to Mexico? How long am I gonna be there in Mexico? Am I gonna know anybody there in Mexico? And all of a sudden, within 2 days, my friend messaged me. He's like, hey, she's moving to Mexico. She's taking her car to Mexico. Do I want to join her? So long story short, I took a 10-day road trip with her from Texas all the way to the Yucatan, which is the bottom of Mexico, okay? So it was some long driving, but we got to visit quite a bit of sacred sites along the way. It was such a go, 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 go time frame where, first of all, I can't believe it is happening, right? I was worried about, okay, how am I gonna make this trip happen? How long I'm gonna go? All of a sudden, she rolls up with her car. I got a free ride to Mexico. And all I know was I need to take this set of Moldavite that, I activated down in Sedona on 2/22/2022. Take the same set down with me to Mexico. So this is where the rebirth, I feel like it's happening. During that trip, the first place we took it to was the Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon. That week was actually the week of my birthday as well. So we planned to go to the Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon on the day of my birthday. So when I took it down there, the thing with birthday is the stars align for your birthday. My body was like a direct connection to my birth, right? Everything inside was aligning to this birth. Took it down to Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon, and then download whatever information that's needed into the set of Moldavites. And so that was Divine Mother and Divine Father, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. And that's a very powerful portal of the Divine Mother and Divine Father. And so we had about a week to make it down all the way to the bottom of Mexico to Chichen Itza on 9/9. And so that's what we did. We made it down to Chichen Itza. Let me tell you, that place is the pyramid at Chichen Itza. I believe it's a rebirth, okay? Chichen Itza's energy every time I have this set of Moldavite out, I feel like headache, like a punch in my sacral chakra. Like it was too intense in the beginning phase. When I activated it, it was too much. Chichen Itza is connected to the Mayans. The Mayans are, they always talk about this doomsday, you know, the end of the world, and it was supposed to happen 10 years ago, the end of the Mayan calendar. But 10 years later, you know, we hear doomsday every single year, but nothing really happens. So I'm thinking, what if this doomsday is connected to this Mayan Chichen Itza pyramid? Maybe some of the other pyramids too, I'm not sure. But specifically, I was guided to this Chichen Itza pyramid. And what was interesting is the whole Mayan civilization, they disappeared. And the scientists weren't really clear about what happened. But if you follow Gaia, you know, a lot of spiritual teachers, or some of the spiritual teachers are talking about this whole civilization. They were able to raise their frequency high enough that the whole civilization ascended to a new reality, which is exactly what I believe is happening. The Chichen Itza, when it's aligned with the winter solstice, it opens up some kind of vortex, some kind of portal, some kind of exit point. So every time I have this set out, right, and like when I'm trying to work with the sacral chakra, and we're talking about rebirth. Death and then rebirth is this very sacral energy for Chichen Itza. But something about tomorrow, this set is wanting to come out to work with. I was really pulled to Mexico back in September to get this set activated. And now the set's all of a sudden wanting to come out for this winter solstice. So I believe it's a very powerful portal date when you align with this Chichen Itza energy, the death and the rebirth, right? Because right now it feels like we're in this birth canal. And so that's what's going to be happening tomorrow for the winter solstice, okay? So I hope that makes sense so far. But last drop here for everyone. If you're here and if this message resonates with you, you may not be able to make sense of it yet, but there's something deep within your core that's like really resonating, then this message is for you, okay? So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, I am hosting a Moldavite Reiki. I'm going to have that Chichen Itza Moldavite set, the grid open. We are going to do opening up your chakras. We're going to work on the heart and the sacral. Opening up, releasing any old energies, right? Any cords you still have with past connections that you still haven't gone over. We're going to do some psychic surgery, release those cords so that you can have this rebirth into a new, highly recalibrated version of you, okay? So we're going to clean up whatever still is left, whatever your soul's ready for, release whatever needs to be released, and prepare you for this winter solstice, okay? So I know I talk about this for the last 3 days, but I feel like this is really big, once a year for this leveling up energy, and just happens to have this Chichen Itza energy lodged into these Moldavites when I open up the grid. When you're there tomorrow, you will feel the energy. Everything is going to be pushed up. We're going to do some cord cutting, opening up the chakras and cutting those cords with some psychic surgery, the Reiki. So if you are attending tomorrow, have a photo of the person that you can't seem to get over or still hurt you, or there's still some pain and grief. And it doesn't even have to be a soulmate energy. It could be a parent that perhaps there needs to be some healing with, okay? Parents typically hits you straight in the heart. With a parent, they are you. You are them. Half of your energy is them. So if there's healing there that you still need to do with mom or dad, I recommend you to have a photo of them, okay? Or if it's a past lover that's really hurt you, you can have a photo of them as well. So I would say one cord that you really need help releasing, have that photo with you tomorrow. And we're gonna do open up some chakras and then do some Reiki, okay? But that's what's happening tomorrow. If you feel called, if you're here, sign up in the description below. Other than that, I hope that makes sense. Enjoy your day and happy winter solstice, everyone. After tomorrow, I'm gonna take a break and recharge, and I'll see everyone when I see everyone, okay? Timmy Do, signing off.
front row seats at the Temple of Quetzalcoatl.
Welcome to our new life.
Yes, you can join in with us. VIP, baby.
Yes, next level.